Finance ministers from across the country get down to business today at Meech Lake, and on the agenda, changes to the Canada Pension Plan. Mark Dunn is covering that story for us. He joins us now from our bureau in the nation's capital. Have you been to Meech Lake, incidentally?
Well, we're not in any, there is a nude beach there, and of course, I can't admit to anything. Well, I know it's pretty tough to get out there today because it's freezing rain.
Well, this is what I wondered. It is a lovely spot, but as long as the weather is cooperating, so... I'm
hoping for live stream this afternoon. That's I'm betting on that one. But we'll
so what are these changes that are being contemplated to the Canada Pension Plan?
Well, I mean, I would just go to a little bit backward a little bit here, Krista.
Sure.
I mean, the problem I think a lot of pension watchers is that a lot of Canadians aren't saving enough money. And I think everyone agrees to that. The provinces and territories agree to that. The finance minister also agrees to that. So what do? Well, some provinces, led by Ontario, they're actually the most vocal proponent of doing something and doing something swiftly, is changing the system. So basically, at the end of the day, Canadians would get more out of that system when they retire. Of course, and that's sort of the rub right now with the finance minister is that he favors doing something with the Canada Pension Plan, but he thinks now is not the good time because, of course, employees and employers both pay into that. So employers, because the economy is not doing so great. If you look at the Canadian Federation of Independent Business, they call it basically a tax hike, a job tax. So there's some provinces that are opposed to that right now, but maybe down the road when the economy gets a little bit better, as the finance minister has indicated, maybe they could begin to do a couple of things. They could change the maximum pensionable earnings, raise that. They could also make people, employers and employees, pay a bit more into the plan. You look at the NDP proposal. The NDP would like to see the payout doubled at some point, which is quite expensive. So these guys
where are we going to get the money for this?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the issue, right? And of course, the government is trying to, they want to piggyback this on their, pooled retirement pension plan, for some of those small businesses that don't pay into the CPP, yes, and get the employers and get the employees to pay into a separate plan and sort of have that as a sideline. But, you look at Ontario's leading the charge, but you look at other provinces like, Saskatchewan, New Brunswick, they too think that the plan has to be changed, but they're cautioning, they don't think it should be changed radically right now, maybe modest incomes. If I were a betting man, I can see the finance minister potentially in the upcoming budget or the next budget sort of setting out a time frame for changes to kick in, like a 10-year phase-in period beginning in, let's say, 2017, 2016, something like that. So we'll see whether there's consensus around the table this afternoon up there in the ice-covered Meech Lake.
Well, it doesn't sound like much of a consensus, but I'm sure they'll get the fire warming and, maybe have some hot chocolate or, depending on how the discussions go, something a little stiffer.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Mark.
See you later.
Mark Dunn, our senior parliamentary reporter, joining us live from our bureau in the nation's capital.